Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Thoroughbred Underdog, and this is Dog's Day for Sunday, June 29th, 2025. And this one won't be very long tonight. It's a Sunday edition. I don't do it on Saturdays when I am too tired to do them on Saturdays. So here we are. And it's, like I said, it's not going to be a very long episode. I'm just going to go over some things that kind of piqued my interest throughout this week in wrestling, and some of the things that happen and how I feel about them. So, in order, no specific order really, Chad Gable is basically out with a shoulder injury. And before the shoulder injury, he was revisiting the feud with Penna, and now he's out with a shoulder injury. So they were going to have a match at SummerSlam, but now it's just been an injury bug going around. I mean, we got Chad Gable out now. We got Liv Morgan out. It's just a lot of injuries as of late. You know what I'm saying? Causing a rift to a lot of the plans. And it just sucks, you know? But I guess El Grande Americano could take Chad Gable's place and face Penta. You know, they have unfinished business, too, for SummerSlam. But Chad Gable's probably going to be out for a while. Ironically, with a shoulder injury, just like Liv Morgan is. Oh, that sucks. Let me see what else. On SmackDown, Julia beat Zelina Vega for the United States Champion, the Women's United States Championship, of course, which it wouldn't be the men's one. I'm happy about that, but that's so weird that both the United States champions were transitional champions. Like, so you had Night of Champions, which I'm going to get to. Solo defeated Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship. And now you got Zelina Vega losing her championship to Julia. And, of course, Julia's the better wrestler. It was a foregone conclusion that she was going to win this match. I mean, Zelina was not going to beat Julia. They just brought her up. They have big plans for her. She's basically another Asuka. Just not with Asuka's, win ratio. But, I mean, I think even with the losses that Asuka has taken in recent years, she still has one of the highest win ratios of any wrestler ever. If you go on ProFightDB.com, you'll see she's like in the top 5 probably ever as far as wins. But Julia beat her. And if you didn't see anything else on SmackDown, which you have to see, now I'm going to post a link for this. You got to see the CM Punk Basic Punkonomics promo. Because last week we had Cena basically bite the whole pipe bomb, right? And it was excellent. But this week we had Punk return the favor by coming out as Basic Thugonomics Cena. Punk Life. So you got to see that. I thought it was excellent. My memory sucks, so I can't remember much about it, but him throwing lines in there about shit. My memory fucking sucks, guys. All I remember is him finishing by saying he's gonna make Cena his Drake. He's Kendrick, and he's gonna make Cena his Drake, like his bitch, like Drake, like Kendrick did Drake. That's all I remember about it at the end. And him saying they can't wrestle. But it was a good promo that I barely remember, right? My memory just sucks. I'm trying. But that was pretty good. If you want to see SmackDown, that was pretty much the highlights. Julia winning the championship. And, the promo with Punk. It was the last promo they had before they had Night of Champions yesterday. It was a very short feud. These Cena feuds have been going, quick. You get them a number of weeks. We have a PLE seemingly every month, every other week now. It seems like every 3 weeks there's a PLE. And it's like, wow, we just had this one. We just had Money in the Bank. We just had Backlash. We just had Saturday night's main event. Like, these things have been going quick. And I think what they do is like when they don't have like a PLE, they have a Saturday night main event. It seems like that's the theme they're going on with. But, now we got Aleister Black feuding with Ron Killings too, formerly known as R-Truth. I don't know how I feel about that, because really Truth is still trying to get Cena, and maybe they'll revisit it towards the end of this run. Some people feel as though Cena's going to turn babyface earlier than usual because of what happened tonight at Champions, which again we'll get to. And even him getting cheered like a babyface last week. Speaking of which, it's like he's got all these different shirts. Like everywhere he goes, he's got a different shirt. I have to know for WWE 2K25, Joe Mashups is going to do at the end of Cena's run like a whole pack of just all the Cena attires that he's had doing this retirement tour. And there have been a lot of good ones. But fuck, if you creating like figures for him, which one do you go with? You know what I mean? Like, they're just now coming out with the one where he had on the shirt from Brussels, the maroon one, and the maroon yellow one. And even then, like, the head sculpts have him smiling, That's going to be releasing soon if you follow the WWE Elite's figures. So it's like, how the fuck do you keep up with these Cena figure attires? You know what I'm saying? He's just like, he's got a new shirt every week. This is him having a new shirt in the 2010s, what have you, on steroids. Like, he's already had like 6 or 7 shirts since he started this retirement tour. So it's definitely hard to keep up with. They just need to work on the face sculpt. Like, he's not happy-go-lucky scene anymore, and they still got all his figureheads smiling. But anyway, so now they got R-Truth feuding with Aleister Black, which is kind of weird. Because who do you put over on that? You're not going to have Black lose, and, R-Truth has some momentum too. So I feel like they kind of, booked themselves in a hole here. Maybe it's just a transitional feud where it doesn't end in a contest, and like Black starts like beat Truth down, and maybe that leads to him feuding with Damian Priest, which would be a very good, solid feud if you ask me. Priest versus Aleister Black would be a good matchup because they both use a lot of kicks and shit. I love guys like that. I love playing with the guys like that in the video games, like, Nakamura, Black, Rob Van Dam, Priest, people that use a lot of combinations because, since Jesus Christ, WWE 2K22, they kind of switched to this new button configuration where it's like semi-fighting game where it has like combos and stuff to get your momentum up. And when I play it, I want to play with people like that. I want to play with people that use a lot of strikes. I like the strikers. So for me, that'd be a really good feud to see because they're similar styles. Basically, Aleister Black is a devil who does kickboxing. You know what I'm saying? If Satan was a kickboxer. So that's going to be pretty cool to see that feud happen because I think that's really what the feud R-Truth is going to be the catalyst for. But other than that, let's see what else we got here. Nothing video game, wrestling game news. I mean, we had the DLC come out this week. The Duncan Destruction one. They had Abyss, Shaq, Tyrese Halliburton, Jalen Brunson, and who else was in it? Great Khali. And they had Khali from when he first debuted, not the Punjabi Playboy Khali, which was a long time coming. And it looks a lot more like him than he did in the last few WWE 2K games he was in. As DLC or what have you, whatever. And I prefer 2006, 2007 Khali over Punjabi Prison or Punjabi Playboy Khali. I mean, this was when he was jobbing to Ziggler with sleeper holds. So I didn't really care for when he was a Punjabi Playboy. I like when he debuted and faced Taker. And, was beating a Taker with chops. But we got Abyss in the game. He's got Jennings with him. So that was cool for that to come out this week. I don't know what the next one's going to be. Obviously, it comes out this month, I believe. But there are, I believe, are only 2 more DLC packages left. And one's got the Attitude Era Superstars, and we got one that's going to have New Jack in it. So that's going to be really interesting, especially with them. They just had like Tyrese Halliburton in the game. He had Many Men in the game, right? It's his theme song. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with New Jack and possibly putting in, Natural Born Killers. It will even play throughout the entire match. That's the thing. But anyway, we got that. And even Abyss did an interview. I think it was with Sean Ross Sapp? He did an interview this week with somebody. And he was talking about it and whatnot. And basically saying he's done wrestling. Maybe Joseph Parks could come and do another, appearance as a lawyer. But he's done with the Abyss and wrestling and taking bumps and what have you. Which sucks. It would have been nice to see Abyss. And he also confirmed that he did, indeed, have an opportunity to come to WWE much earlier in his career, but he chose to stay loyal to TNA. I'm going to try to find a link for that and post it on the description. But nothing from AEW intrigued me this week. Nothing caught my attention. Like, even with Tony Storm feuding with, Mercedes, I just don't really gravitate towards AEW like I used to at all. And then people were shitting on them about getting losing 125,000 viewers, and they blamed it on Brody King wearing the Abolish ICE shirt, which is hilarious. But yeah, AEW is just not what it used to be, even with all the talent that they have. I mean, they have amazing talent there, and arguably better matches than WWE, just if you could look past the no selling. I can't. I like selling. I grew up on Bret Hart, for Christ's sakes. So I don't like when people getting German suplexes and getting right back up and, you know what I'm saying, no selling super kicks and Canadian destroyers and shit like that. I grew up on TNA Petey Williams, and that shit defeated everybody. And now we're just doing it, and it's a 1 count, 2 count move now. So that kind of turns me off of AEW. So it's not often you go hear me talk about AEW unless something really catches my eye or attention. But nothing this week did. But let's continue. Let me see here. On Raw, Penta and Braun had a match. Braun is just, Taker had a podcast this week with Braun as the guest. Him and Michelle McCool. They've since had Taker move his podcast over to the WWE banner, which means he's not doing it with Matt no more. And a lot of people want Matt to do it again. They want him back as a guest. I also really miss every episode them starting with a Happy Diet beer. It's called a Happy Diet. It's not Happy Dad. It's Happy Diet. And I miss it. I wonder what had happened to the show. It just evanesced. And the next thing you know, Taker's got it on the WWE channel, and he's hosting it with Michelle McCool. And, I can't really be too mad at Taker, but he really puts over his wife. And there's some ambivalence about that. You know what I'm saying? Wow, he does the show with his wife now. Everybody feels like he got Mickie James replaced by Michelle McCool on LFG. She got put in the games, the Hall of Fame. Which, again, like we said earlier, I don't really think she should have went in before people like China or Miss Elizabeth or many others. that haven't been put in yet. Victoria's not even put in yet. She, it's kind of making her look a little overrated. And it sucks because Michelle McCool comes across as a really good woman, really good Southern, lady from Palatka, Florida, or wherever she's, whatever it's called. And it's just like Taker, like, replacing his boy Matt with her, and now she's on LOG. Is basically giving her a lot of hate that she probably doesn't really even deserve, because Taker sprung. But, he loves his wife, and it's us on the outside looking in, feeling the way we do about it. I like Matt better, but because I don't really feel like Michelle adds anything. But it is what it is. So nonetheless, he had Braun as a guest, and he was even saying, like, Braun does his spear so fucking good that he should be the only one doing it. There's a lot of guys using spear. Like, spear's like, it's up there with super kicks and Canadian destroyers, almost a move everyone does. I mean, Ricky Starks does it, Jay does it, Roman does it, Braun, Charlotte does it, Bianca does it, Pirate Girl. Cannot think of. Kairi Sane does it. There are so many people who use the spear, and it's like, Roman, you can't take away from Roman. He's had it for almost a decade now, maybe longer. 13 years, a little bit over a decade. But Braun, if there was only two people using it, it should be just Braun and Roman. Because Braun's looks like it legitimately hurts. He did one a Pentagon on Raw. Pentagon was like doing a springboard, and Braun hit him with it. And it looked nasty. Like, a lot of people are getting on Pentagon or Penta because he's losing so many matches. And I think he's going to be a part of the next DOC too. And it does suck that he's losing so many matches, but he's super over. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could get that win back. And then he's got a second opportunity to get over again when they actually pair him with Rey Fenix, which right now they have Rey Fenix teaming up with Andrade. And they had a really good match with DIY on SmackDown too that you need to see. Which is crazy because it's like everybody's clamoring for the Lucha Brothers to team up. And then here he is having chemistry with like Andrade, like they've been teaming forever. Really good ass match on SmackDown with DIY that I almost forgot about in this review here. But, we already know what happened with Night of Champions and who qualified for the matches there. Jade Cargill beat Roxanne to get to Night of Champions. Cody beat Jay, which was also a really, really good match. And then Gunther did a really good promo about Goldberg, which I still, I'm not on board with. I don't care for that match at all. But trying to see what else we got here. So we're just gonna go to the Night of Champions result here and speak on that a little bit. So Cody Rhodes defeated Randy Orton to become the King of the Ring. King Cody, I don't know. I don't think it will affect Randy Orton anyway, because Randy's so carefree about every fucking thing. I couldn't see him rocking that crown. It kind of works better for Cody because the kingdom and everything like that. But it would work even better than that if he was a heel, because, kingdom and shit like that. So I guess I'm okay with him beating Randy Orton. I feel like this match, like you could revisit this match kind of like you did with Randy Orton versus Gunther when they had their King of the Ring match. and then have them have like an actual feud. But I mean, when it comes to Saudi Arabia, which I'm very happy everything went swimmingly over there. Everybody was like scared that with what's going on with Iran and the U.S. right now, it would affect the safety and, of everybody over there. But everything went through without a hitch, thank God. I don't think Iran cares about stuff like that. Iran is going to hit us where we hit them, bases and stuff like that, which still is sad and just jacked up. But I don't think they care about a WWE event. So thank God everybody made it back good. But yeah, Cody is the proper choice here. And maybe we could get a more, long feud with Cody and Randy with more storyline and emotion involved because of their history and stuff later down the line. Jade Cargill defeated Asuka to become Queen of the Ring, and then there was kind of a strange situation with her pin after the Jaded, where I think she went a little bit too far back with her signature pin where she does the lick in her hand thing. She kind of pushed Asuka's legs way too far back. Her legs almost went over Jade's shoulders, but the ref still counted a 3 anyway. And it just looked really awkward. Really awkward. But Jade is the Queen of the Ring, and this means that she will be facing, more than likely will be facing Tiffany Stratton for the championship at SummerSlam, which also kind of gives us an idea that Naomi will be cashing in, because she still hates Jade. You can see it even with the posts on X and everything like that. There's still some unfinished business there. So, pretty much everybody feels that this is just going to lead to her winning, but losing or, getting screwed over from winning a match by Naomi, who will cash in her Money in the Bank championship. So, what else happened? I only got a few more things to talk about. Very minor. Solo Sikoa, like I said, beat Jacob Fatu. We also got the return of Tama Tonga, the real tribal chief. The man who brings in all the views. The very reason that we watch wrestling to this day. The draw. The reason why WWE is making so much money right now. The person I play with on 2K25 and have 1,001-0 record with on online matches, Tama Tonga. Tonga Loa. I'm sorry. None of that is about Tama Tonga. We don't care about him. We care about Tonga Loa. Again, the man that draws the most money, the reason we watch wrestling, the reason why WWE is making so much money right now, the most over person, the real tribal chief, and the man who should be really defeat Ric Flair's record and John Cena's record for the most championships, Tonga Loa, is back. He returned. And everybody's saying he botched like a swinging, similar to the one that Lexis King does, where he has their legs draped over the third rope and then does like a swinging neck breaker. Instead of him going counterclockwise, he went clockwise. But let's be honest here, Tonga Loa doesn't botch. We botch. Our eyes botched seeing it. It wasn't him at all. So for all you guys saying that he botched the swinging neck breaker on Solo Sikoa, get your eyes checked. Because Tonga Loa is perfect, all right? The man doesn't mess up or miss. He's better than Mello. So, he returned. But we also got the debut of Tola Tonga. basically Afion Crockett, if he wrestled with a Jerry curl. He was 7 foot tall. Has debuted and he choke slammed. Now, I think Jacob was supposed to go through the table, but he didn't. But he debuted, and that sealed the deal for Jacob Fatu's reign as United States champion, which is very short-lived. I think he only had it for like, at this point, a few months. I mean, Mania, he just won it against LA Knight, and now he's lost it. Both the people that had the United States championships had a very short-lived ephemeral reign. So it's just really weird to see, like we thought Jacob was going to take that shit and run, but it wasn't meant to be. So now we got the Bloodline 3.0, consisting of Solo Sikoa, Tala Tonga, Tongaloa, and, JC Mateo. And then Tama Tonga can't be that far along. I know he's out injured, but when he comes back, he's going to rejoin. This would be actually the biggest, as far as members, bloodline that we've had since the bloodline storyline started. I mean, the first one was, of course, Roman, the Usos, Sammy, and, Solo. But this one's going to have Solo, the Gorillas of Destiny, JC Mateo, Tala Tonga. Okay. Maybe it's still the same when the Bloodline 1.0 was at its peak. Same amount of members. But if you didn't see it on X, Zillifatu sent a little tweet to Jacob with a phone call icon. Like, look, call me. It looked like he needs some help. So maybe we could have Zilla coming up. Right now, I think he's feuding with Booker T still at Reality or Wrestling. Booker's a heel, which is weird. I don't know what's still going on with that. But, Bloodline 3.0 is in full effect, baby. With Solo now the United States champion, is still coming to his own as a comedic heel. Or a heel with comedic tendencies. So that's it with that. The last match, like I said, this was no specific order. I mean, we had Sami Zayn beat Karrion Kross, and Sami came out repping Palestine. He had the same gear he had on that Saturday Night's Main Event with him and Punk teamed up against LP and Cena. But he won the match. It was good to see Karrion Kross get some offense in. He did plenty of flat back bumps because people were giving him shit about not taking back bumps. But, while it was good to get Karrion Kross on a PLE, fuck, right now, can he win a match? Like, Jesus. We've been having him on Main Event, and he's been winning those matches. But his first PLE, and I don't know how long, he loses. But they really weren't going to have Sammy lose here because, Sammy is Arabic. He's Arabic and French Canadian. So they needed some representation over there for Saudi Arabia to win a match. I guess he's kind of like what Mansoor was, where they're not about to have him lose like that. And you could correct me if I'm wrong if he's lost in Saudi Arabia since he actually has started going to Saudi Arabia, because before I was like, no, he's not going, right? But he's been going, and, he won this match against Cross with the haluva kick. But I want to see them continue to win. I hope if they do. Like, Sammy's the type of dude that he could lose, but he loses nothing by losing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's always going to have the fans on his side. He's a lovable loser. People still show up at Bears games even though they don't win. Sammy's like that. Sammy's always going to have the fans on his side whether he wins or loses, So maybe him and Cross still continue to feud, and Cross comes out the victor in all of this before he moves on to another wrestler. I just kind of want my boy Cross to get over because His shirt's still selling well. And he still gets really good reactions. He got really good reactions at the event, and when he shows up on Raw in segments, he gets really good reactions and stuff like that. Now, if you want to really go with it, then go with it. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they need to do. Like, you did it with Jay, do it with Cross. Cross is organically gotten over. But it's really weird because WWE 1 minute says they don't listen to the internet fans, but the next minute they do. Like, that's the only reason you brought back Truth, is you saw all the negative reception that you got online bleeding over into the crowd, at the shows, because of how you kind of was shitty and fired our Truth. So we just need to be louder for Cross. Us people who actually like Cross out there. I'm a Cross fan. And maybe it'll get through to them that we want to see him actually be in some high-profile feuds and actually, be featured more. But the only other things, okay, so we also had the Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez match. I didn't care for that at all. I thought we were done with Rhea versus members of Judgment Day, or even around Judgment Day, and yet she's back feuding with people in Judgment Day. Like, can we get her out of the vortex, please? Let's move Rhea on to some other shit, please. Like, move her to SmackDown or something, Like, you don't have to have her interact with Damian Priest. The Terror Twins, wherever their name were, you don't have to go there anymore. But can we get, like, Rhea away from, like, two things? Championship matches and Judgment Day. Because then you're going to start getting her hatred like we did Charlotte. And nobody wants to hate Rhea Ripley. Especially if you've seen her interview this past week with Chris Van Vliet, who I've never seen a bad Chris Van Vliet interview. Ever. People just get so comfortable around him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had one with Snitsky, and Snitsky got super emotional in it. And Chris has this thing about just making you feel emotionally comfortable around him. But you had one with Rhea Ripley, and it's just like, you watch that interview, and it's just like, how can you not like her? Like, and I don't mean sexually or aesthetically, or because of her look or her sexual appeal. I mean, as a person, she just comes across as so bubbly and cool and down to earth. How can you not like her? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, people don't want to hate Rhea. So you could do the same thing you're doing with Charlotte, where she's not exactly in the title picture. Like, right now, they still got Charlotte flirting with being in the tag team with Alexa Bliss. And I just feel like the segment is coming where Alexa's like, we've been bonding and whatnot, and I think it's time you meet my family. And she introduces her to the Wyatt Six and whatnot, and we get Dark Queen Charlotte, like brunette Charlotte, like dark-haired Charlotte, which would be fucking dope to see. And then maybe we could get, like, Alexa and Charlotte feuding with Raquel and Roxanne Perez for the tag team titles or something. Right now in the men's division, we still got the Wyatt Six feuding with everybody for the tag team, titles and stuff like that. And again, booking yourself into a hole, because how do you have the Wyatt Six come back after this long and not win the championships if they're feuding with somebody like the Street Profits or something like that? And it's just like almost all the tag teams are on SmackDown. So it's a weird situation with the tag team divisions all across WWE right now. I don't even want to get started about all the people that released and how many stables, factions and stuff they separated, and injuries and shit like that. But anyway, CM Punk and Cena had their match. It is probably, like, all these matches we're getting with Cena are very much so the last in a lifetime that we'll see these matches. Once Cena's done, that's it. I think he's not going to even show up on SmackDown or on WTV again for another 3 weeks. So it's weird. I don't know who he's going to feud with next. But that's it with him and Punk. He beat Punk. Punk came out with his Money in the Bank gear, with like a Money in the Bank gear kind of tracksuit to match. And I didn't see the match. I only saw all the interference spots and, Seth trying to cash in, which basically got Cena a small glimmer of babyface heat, you know what I'm saying? He gave the AA to Seth and whatnot, and, his stable, Seth's stable, beat up on Cena, and then Penta, of all people, came out to help. Well, not of all people, because he's feuding with Braun Breaker still, too. So he came out to kind of stop them from beating up on Cena, but also really more so to go after Braun Breaker. And, Cena ends up winning his match. So there was a spot in it where he kind of revisited the whole Elimination Chamber thing, where he gave Punk a hug, and then he did the look again. And that's when he tried to, beat Cena up, but then that's when Seth came in and hit Punk with a briefcase and tried to cash in. But Cena ended up winning his match. So that was Money in the Bank. That was Night of Champions. I only saw the little clips and stuff like that and know the results, and can only tell you what I thought about who won the matches and stuff and where I think these wrestlers in future go after this. But yeah, the only other thing that I have to comment on is I don't have a lot of links this time. This is going to be a very short episode, like I said. It is official that Roman will be playing Akuma in the Street Fighter movie. We also, I don't know how verified this is, but Balrog, 50 Cent's going to be Balrog. I almost said Balrog's going to be 50 Cent. My thing is this, how the fuck do you not cast Mike Tyson as Balrog after all these years, even with a video out there being where Mike actually found out Balrog was based on him. He didn't even know anything about it. For years. That's just, it's not like Mike's asking for a lot, I bet. But damn, how do you not do that? That's a layup. You know what I'm saying? Even with Mike being older. He was right there. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, how do I feel about Roman playing Akuma? I could see it. Roman was eventually, we all know what's going to happen when Roman leaves WWE. He's going to Hollywood. He's got the look for it. He's got the chops for it. We could tell that he had acting classes back in 2020 when he came back as a tribal chief, which rumor is that when he comes back, he's going to not be a tribal chief anymore. It's going to be completely divested from that storyline or that title, since he's no longer with Paul Heyman anymore. But we'll see what happens with that. They actually put his most recent look in the game for my faction or persona card or whatever, with the white, gauntlet and whatnot. But I'm not opposed to him being Akuma. We got a new Mortal Kombat movie coming out. Mortal Kombat 2 is just wrapped up, I believe. And now we have Street Fighter in the works. So, very interesting to see what's going to happen with these movies. I still haven't seen the first Mortal Kombat movie. It couldn't have been that bad for them to have a sequel. I just was not a fan of them bringing in a new character, a la Resident Evil, and making that be the main person. You could deal with Scorpion, you could deal with even Sub-Zero, but you bring in some new dude. I forget the dude's name. Cole or some shit like that. I don't know. But I've yet to see the first movie, so I can't really give a true opinion about the new character they made as the focal point. But, the more superhero movies, the better, I guess. They're not as bad as what we got in the 90s. Sonic is pretty much the poster boy of a video game movie done correctly. So we'll have to see what happens with this Street Fighter shit. Other than that, that's pretty much it, guys. Only other thing I could really say is for WWE 2K25, there's also another rumor that because things fell through with Travis Scott being a celebrity, he was going to be the celebrity for the last DLC package. I guess the deal fell through. So the rumor is that it's going to be out because there's some real, evidence you could see in the game. They added an Aleister Black match. They already have like match ending sequences in the game and entrances for the game, but they actually titled it Aleister Black instead of some like loosely related name because he's no longer in the game. But they actually named it Aleister Black. So the word is that he's going to be the person that replaces Travis Scott. And not for nothing, nobody wanted to play with Travis Scott anyway. Nobody cares about these celebrities. Like, they try to cushion it by basically putting people in and giving them like moves of wrestlers we actually do want in the game. Like they brought back the moonsault stomp. I guess it doesn't look as fast and like super crazy as the one that they had originally. It looks a little bit more, I guess, realistic. But nobody cares about these celebrities they put in the game. We get it. You trying to, get to the youth and the people who watch it contemporary. Because you can't just put legends in the game, to appeal to people like myself who grew up watching wrestling in the 90s. But I don't even think people that's like Gen Z care about KSI being in the game or fucking Travis Scott or anybody like that. And not for nothing, Travis Scott isn't really the best human being, so nobody really cares about him being in the game. Nobody really cares about him being in WWE storylines. Like, people are going to look back and say, what the fuck was he doing there when they see the whole scene of the heel turn all over again? It amounted to nothing. He didn't even have a match. So, I don't know what's going on with that, but Aleister Black is definitely a better option than him. And I guess they're going to just go back and try to get his model from the previous games and try to, make it look a little bit more contemporary because all of his moves are still there. So they probably add in a few new moves and update his tattoos and stuff like that. I mean, the entrance is already in the game. So just touch it up a little bit, so to speak. But yeah, that's all I got, people. So hopefully you liked it. Maybe you didn't like it. You may even hate it. But one thing's for sure, you gotta learn to live with it. Peace, y'all.